Short answer, yes. Long answer is I am just as likely as the general population. I might have a slightly increased risk because it's happened before. But given my age, I just looked it up. It would be 1 in 600. The reason I know that, I'm going to share a little bit of my fertility journey. So in 2019, I had an ectopic pregnancy. It was missed and then finally managed by medication. So I never lost a fallopian tube. And then I had my living child. And then in the end of 2022, found out that, I was carrying a trisomy 21 pregnancy and had the abortion. And then this year I've had 2 miscarriages. So at that point, the OB was like, all right, we need to run all the tests that we possibly can on you. And so I was referred to REI. My REI/IVF doctor, then one of the biggest tests that they did was they sequenced my DNA and my husband's DNA. And in a small percentage of trisomy 21 cases, there's a translocation on the DNA. Don't ask me to explain it. Ask a geneticist. Like, I don't have a good enough understanding to regurgitate that. But basically, like, that's when you're looking at a genetic cause. So that wasn't the case for us. This was just like stroke of really bad luck. In the same way that having an ectopic pregnancy is like profoundly unlucky, so was our trisomy 21 pregnancy. And then having 2 miscarriages back to back, also just like really, really bad luck. So could I have really bad luck again? Of course, like given my history, but I did every test you can imagine. It basically set me up for IVF. So, did the dye, injected the dye into to see like the fallopian tubes and the uterus, did every like blood test panel you can imagine, genetic carrier screenings, all of it. And checked my follicles, a lot, and nothing. Like, basically they were like, we think it's just bad luck. We're not seeing an issue with you or your husband that we can point to and say like, this is a problem. So then the question became like, my husband and I don't have issues getting pregnant. Lately we've had issues staying pregnant for different reasons, right? The miscarriages, like, we don't know for sure what they were. I wasn't able to get that tissue like sampled. So some families who TFMR, in order to completely avoid any of the trauma that they experience, they do IVF. And they test the embryos, and they can ensure that the embryos do not have any genetic abnormalities, right? But that doesn't guarantee that your body will be able to bring that embryo to term. So for me, I decided that IVF wasn't a road I was gonna go down yet. It's costly. I had done I had been poked and prodded and had done so many tests and procedures for like 6 months that I just felt like another invasive thing, injecting myself with hormones and having, my eggs extracted. It was just a little too much for me right now in my like headspace. So yes, it can happen again. There are ways to try to almost completely ensure that it doesn't happen again. But that's not the road that I'm taking yet.